Hi, I'm Pete Price. I've been 50 years in show business. I'm a broadcaster, a working comic, 32 pantomimes under my belt. I've worked for Sky News, GB News, and Jeremy Vine, reviewing the papers. I write a column for the Liverpool Echo, and I've also worked for LA Productions. So how did I start in the industry? I always wanted to go in show business. When I was 6 years old at junior school, I sang Tiddly Winky Woo with 6 dancers and I was a star. Tiddly Winky Winky Winky, Tiddly Winky Woo, I love you. Tiddly Winky Winky Winky, Tiddly Winky Woo, love me too. Last time I sang that, I was 6. I did cooking at school, so I had catering and hairdressing under my belt. I went on the ships with the catering. It's a very long story, but cutting back to the story, I finished up at the Cabin Club in Wood Street, which was a magnificent club. I ran 3 restaurants. One night, the band were ill, and we played records, and no discos in Liverpool at all. I didn't know what a disco was. I had 10 records, 1 turntable, in a chef's outfit with a white chef's hat on, and the rest is history. Before I was in show business, I was adopted, given away to the most wonderful woman on this earth. So my birth mother, I always thank her, because Hilda May Price was my mum. My father was a wealthy man who lost everything. My mum finished up scrubbing steps in the Ring of Bells pub in West Kirby to keep me alive. Can I remember a time in my broadcasting career when something unexpected has happened? One, the death of James Bulger. And for those people watching, if you don't know, it was the most heinous crime. He was brutally murdered by 2 children. I did 5 nights a week, 4 hours a night on radio. Had some great producers who would put the calls through. And we don't know what to expect. And this night, Helen Bulger, who was Ralph's mother, Denise and Ralph, they've separated now, that together they had James Bulger. Helen rang my radio show, and it stays with me forever, and said, "We knew the little boy was missing. I don't think I'm ever going to see my angel again walk through my door." That one statement opened the most unbelievable story of the death of a little boy. And it was unbelievably brutal. I then became, not through choice, the voice for the world, because everybody descended on my radio station, the one I worked for, which was Radio City. I cannot explain in words how bad it was. Changed my life forever. So the power of late night radio is incredible. Hi, it's Pete Price, and I want to tell you about a very important program that's going out on Tuesday. Can you believe it's 20 years since James Bulger was taken from us? I've done the most incredible, in-depth interview with Denise Fergus and an audience that I've ever done. I've had sleepless nights over this anniversary because it affected my life, like it affected so many people. So a lot of people ask me how I worked through my radio show and some of the trauma that I got from my radio show, which I got an awful lot. I was under police protection a few times. I had stalkers. I had lots of problems. And what was I? A radio presenter. Nothing else. But I had a lot of problems. But to put it into perspective, as a gay man, I was a criminal growing up because it was illegal to be gay. And at the age of 12, I went to the doctors and said I was a homosexual. It was early morning, Thursday, 2:15. My mum, I'd just come home from work. I'd been working in a nightclub. My mum was sitting in bed with a letter in her hand, looking dreadful. And she said, "What does this mean?" And I went, "I'm a homosexual." Long story short, we went to the doctors because I wanted to help her. And the doctor said there's a cure. So I knew in my heart of hearts I couldn't be cured because cured of what? But I also knew that society were against homosexuality, and you could go to prison. There was blackmail, there was queer bashers everywhere. It was an unbelievable world we lived in, and a very scary world. So I went for the cure. I laugh when I think of it. What did they do? They took me to a mental institute called DEVA, which is up by Chester Zoo. It's now West Cheshire Hospitals. I went with a different name because how could they put my name down as Peter Price to be cured of something that's illegal? So I'm 18 going on 19, absolutely terrified. The great day came for the treatment. The psychiatrist had a tape recorder, a Grundy TK20, never forget that, reel to reel. And he interviewed me for an hour. And the hour was talking about sex with a man, but using every graphic expression you could ever imagine, just to make it dirty. And that lasted an hour. They then put me in a room, and I always remember I had red pyjamas on, because I love me red pyjamas. A small room with no windows and a male nurse. So I'm in the bed. They had dirty books, dirty magazines, which were a joke because there were guys in a bathing costume. It was just a joke. So I had to look at the pictures in the book, listen to the tape for an hour. They asked me what I drank. And in those days, I drank Guinness. They had cases of Guinness. So I'm drinking Guinness, looking at the pictures, listening to the tape. Halfway through the hour, they injected me. I can't remember what it was called because I wiped it out of my head. To which I said, excuse me, I'm going to be violently ill. Can I go to the bathroom? They went, no, do it there. So I was sick and lying in my own excrement. So that lasted, that was an hour. So halfway through that hour, they did that. And another hour, and another hour. And for 72 hours, with injections every other hour or however long it was, the idea was that sex was filthy with men, that all that dreadful talk, those pictures, that drink. And I said at the end of 76 hours, because I was now very, very frightened and didn't think I'd ever get out alive, I said I volunteered to come in, because I now believed I would never be seen again live. I believed that I would have been lost in the system. And I said, I need out. And they said, we're not, and I was really scared. And they said, all right, well, you haven't finished the course, but we'll do the electrodes now. So they wanted to put electrodes on your penis so that if you get an erection. So I'm lying in my own excrement for 76 hours. I got out and a mate of mine came to pick me up. Nobody knew anything about it. Nobody knew anything, but they just knew how ill I was. So that gave me so much in life to help others. It's a time in my life when I came out stronger after being truly vulnerable. Yeah, the day my mother died, I never thought I'd get through it. Simple as that. I got through it with the strength of knowing she was there. But I also turned away from my religion because I couldn't understand why, if there is a God up there, he took such a beautiful human being away from me. There was very dark days in Liverpool. I am so thrilled to be an honorary Scouser. I am so thrilled to have been given the Citizen of Honour by Liverpool. I worship this city. I adore this city. Everyone that comes, nobody can be alone in Liverpool. Everybody talks to you. You can't have any time by yourself. People just want to be with you. In fact, we're too nosy. We're too nosy. Asking me what my legacy would be, I would hope that I've helped so many people. So I hopefully have been a nice human being and given something back, because people have been very good to me. I want to continue working. Listen, if Ricky Tomlinson could do it, I can do it. If Colin McEwen can do it, I can do it. I just want to keep working. I think work is the most wonderful thing to keep you young. I've got beautiful friends in my life who I adore. But if any of my friends really want to upset me, I've always said this: buy me a pair of tartan slippers from Marks and Spencer's and give them to me. That means I'm old, because that to me is the epitome of old age. Tartan slippers. To everybody that's watched this, can I say one thing which is really important? Follow your dream without any shadow of a doubt, but try and get a little job to get money, because this industry, entertainment, broadcasting, film, everything to do with this industry is the hardest thing in the world right now, because so many people want to do it. But always follow your dream. Hi, I'm Pete Price, and I'm on LA Productions Liverpool's YouTube channel. I am incredibly flattered to be part of something new, exciting, and you can subscribe. So why not join? And you can listen to me and a lot more and learn something about our industry, show business.